Welcome to Future Focus Van Buren Tech, where we take you inside the world of career and technical education.
From the fast-paced world of fire science
to the strategies of business management.
to the innovation behind engineering design.
And the creativity of architectural design. We are four students at the Van Buren Tech Center diving deep into these career paths, sharing experiences, and bringing you expert insights along the way. Whether you're a future student, a curious listener, or just love learning, this is the place for you. Be sure to catch all 4 episodes.
Let's build the
Future together.
All right.
Hello, Gray here. You're listening to Future Focus Van Buren Tech Podcast. I'll be your host for today. With me today is V Saber and Not Illegal. And our speaker for today will be Anime Watcher, talking about his Fire Science Academy and being a firefighter.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to talk about the Fire Science Academy at the Van Buren Tech Center. At the Van Buren Tech Center, there was a program called Fire Science Academy. In this program, you will learn everything there is about being a structure firefighter. If you pass the class and pass the academy, you'll be a certified firefighter and be certified in hazmat operations, and you have your basic first aid license. In this program, you will learn about hazmat, search and rescue, extrication, ventilation, and fire suppression. And then I'd like to talk about my experiences a little bit. In the class, it has been really fun and very educational. My instructors and the people I've met, they are really cool people and they know what they're talking about. Many career firefighters have also come to the class and gave us their personal experience, which is sometimes very informational. And the best part is everything you learn about is hands-on, and that is the best thing that I love to do is hands-on activities. Is there any questions about the first part here?
I have a question. We have talked a lot about Van Buren Tech, and our listeners have heard a lot, but we really haven't talked about the building. What's your favorite part about it?
The cafe, the food,
What's your favorite part about the cafe?
the food, the food.
Like,
the
what's your
food,
favorite food?
The muffins.
I would say
They always put
it's
some nice
the
muffins
brownies.
out there. It's amazing.
I think it's the brownies, in my opinion.
In my
They're the best.
opinion, it's the chicken tenders.
I never go to the cafe, so I wouldn't know.
That's sad.
Yeah.
At least they're healthy.
Continuing on. What is
What's
yours,
yours?
B-Saber?
So I would say my question would be, what kind of procedures and scenarios have you done?
That's a good question. We go really into depth with it. In the beginning, it's kind of iffy because in the beginning you don't know a lot. But I'm a second year student, so I'm getting really into depth. But when scenarios, they involve any real world incident that could happen. They involve people that make bombs in their house, just average fire homes, um, looking for people in the woods, lost hunters. We get multiple medical calls. That we do a little bit of everything, and then for like scenarios, and then with the other thing you said, like we do a thing called donnings and inspections, which where you have to don our pack and put a mask on and go on air in a proper timeline and do everything correctly, and even do inspections. We have to do that constantly because that's part of that's our part of our practical test, the state practical, which is where we become certified. Any other questions?
To clarify for our listeners, what's donning?
Donning is um, basically putting on. We put on an air pack, which is what we breathe from. We have to go into a fire. At the tech center, we don't do any of that because we're not certified, and these are old stuff, and we just do it for training. Any questions?
Yeah. What does a typical day look for you in the tech center?
A lot of days are different, especially what time of the year it is. In the beginning, usually we'll get to class, we will do lecture, and then that's the day. And then other days we're outside practicing the skills from that lecture, or depending on what air chapter we're on with the lecture, we go with that. Like right now we're doing the class is doing extrication, which they get to tear apart a car, which is going to be really fun. Any other questions?
That's it for me.
All right. Next, I'm going to be talking about becoming a firefighter in other ways. First, there are many colleges and other just academies for counties and stuff like that. and everywhere is different. Everywhere is different because, but they don't every like because all the instructors are trained differently. They have different experiences, and they just learn everything. Like a lot of stuff at the tech center we have, it's custom built by the instructors because they experienced it. And the type of scenarios, it's something the instructors have seen because our instructors correlate with law enforcement and EMT, and they go off of that and be like, all right, what have you learned? What are we gonna do for this? And that's so everything's just different. Like there's some all things that we don't learn as being a structure firefighter for me because in the area I live, there's not that many high-rise buildings, but in like different areas, you'll be doing you can rappel off of a big tall building, and I don't do that. And then next, I'd like to make um, what makes the Van Buren Tech Fire Science Academy different than Van Buren Tech. Um, and it makes it different because everything we do is hands-on. We get so much time to practice everything. If you just don't do anything, there's no reason for you not to pass. If you try and try, that's all you can do. That's the best thing you can do in this class is just keep trying. And it's just an overall experience because we have so many people come to us to help us because they want to see us succeed. And then the biggest thing in the class though is when you walk in the room, you are part of a team. And even when you walk out of the class, you can still be part of that team. Everyone there knows each other, everyone there communicates with each other, and everyone there works with each other. Is there any questions about this?
I would say my question would be, I'm very curious to know that would do you learn more here at the tech center than compared to another fire academy?
Well, I haven't experienced another fire academy, but I would say yes. My instructors first-handedly said that the amount of time we get, for example, on each topic is way longer than the county academy for that area. And
Uh,
so, yeah, I would say we get more hands-on, we get more time with everything than any other academy in the state, at least.
nice.
As you stated that there is a lot of different ways to get into firefighting, but without VOTEC, do you think you would have got into firefighting?
Actually, no. Because firstly, I chose this program my junior year because I wanted to go to the tech center and experience it. I never even viewed it. I'm like, hey, firefighting sounds good to me. It's another class to take. I was gonna be a diesel. I wanted to do auto and just didn't get into it, so I did this. And honestly, that's the best decision I've ever made. This has been amazing, and this is my second year doing it, and so I've had amazing experiences, and I'm now certified firefighter, and I couldn't ask for anything different.
Okay, so you mentioned that you're a certified firefighter. Do you think the way you became a certified firefighter is easier than any other ways?
Um, yes and no. No, only because that's the high school level. And a lot of high schoolers can't focus like they do, and like if they're like high schoolers are trying to work up to being an adult. They're not an adult yet, and they can still act childish at sometimes. And then yes, because we're at the high school level, and there's like not many other areas where something like this is possible.
Yeah, uh, that's all for me.
That's all the questions.
I think that is all
All
the
right.
Yeah.
questions.
Well, the last thing I want to talk about is firefighting as a job or a career. There's many different types of firefighting. You can be on a 24-hour shift department, you can just be paid on call or volunteer. Volunteer is where you show up at the station, you put your gear on, get in the truck, and go to calls. Paid on call, same thing, but you get paid to do it after each call. The only person that gets paid out of any of these would be the chief and any other sort of extra people you'd add. And then you have actually um, a 24-hour shift. You have shifts as well with departments, which is basically where a group of people will be at a fire department for hours. They basically live there for a couple of days, sometimes out days and whatnot. And while they're there, they run the calls, they clean the station, and they train. and that doesn't change. And it is a daily routine, but trainings do get different. And then with the different firefightings, you can be a firefighter, you can be a forest firefighter. Well, they're actually called wildland firefighting. You can you can work on the trucks, and just like with your home department, you could be a captain, a lieutenant, you could be an engineer. An engineer is the one that controls the water flow, while everyone else goes inside the building. And then for the career itself, everything that I've mentioned that I've learned about, you will easily do. And the demand is increasing and decreasing a little bit. It's decreasing because we're having a lot of less fires, but it's increasing because all the fires we're having now are a lot more dangerous than they ever been because they're more complicated. Construction have gotten more complicated with the stuff that goes into them, and when those catch fire, it's way worse. Um, is there any questions about being a firefighter?
Yeah. So there's a lot of environments that you just listed. Um, how far can you go in the firefighting field?
You can go pretty far. You can just stay in a department, work as a firefighter, and work your way up to like lieutenant, captain, and all the way up to the chief. Or because it's like sometimes it's different chiefs, so the battalion chief, assistant chief, just big normal chief. Me personally, I'm on the fire department. We just have a normal chief, a lieutenant, and two captains for each station. But as well, like you don't have to become like a certified firefighter. You can go into other career fields. Like you can be a firefighter paramedic or EMT. You can be a mechanic for the fire trucks and stuff like that. Which they make a lot of money. You can be a forest firefighter. There's a lot of things you can do in the firefighter that can take you a long way as long as you want to do it. Any other questions?
So a question for me is, do you think of the risks that come with being a firefighter?
Yes and no. Yes, because it's with me, I'm not as big as a risk because I'm under eight. I'm only 17, so I'm not allowed to do a lot of stuff. But like, even with being at the engine in a safe location, smoke inhalation that can be really bad. Lightheadedness, dizziness, there's a lot of things that will take into complication, and anyone can easily get hurt if they do the wrong thing. That's why paying attention and being cautious with this job is one of the top things to do. And then no, because once I graduate high school, I'm gonna be going in the military. But if I was, but when I proceed to this career a little bit more, yes, because I'll be doing this on basically for an airport, and that will be a lot more dangerous because all the fuels and everything will be a little bit different. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes, I do have one. You listed a lot of different positions in the firefighting field. If you had to choose any one of those positions to stay at for the rest of your life if you didn't make it to the military, which one would you choose?
Honestly, with how much I've known, I would probably just stay at a firefighter level or even go into wildland firefighting and even go up to lieutenant or captain because leadership is something I enjoy a little bit doing, but like being an operator, I you got to be good at math, be able to do quick math, and I really can't do that. And I was looking into it. I used to want to be a paramedic, but that just it seemed really hard. And with being a firefighter, you do see pretty bad stuff, but being a paramedic, you'll see a lot more stuff than that, just as much as a firefighter, but be more into it than um, a firefighter would. Is there any more questions?
I think that will be it.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the Future Focus Van Buren Tech podcast. A huge thank you to the Van Buren Tech Center for making this podcast possible. And of course, you, our listeners, for joining us on this journey. This was part of our limited 4-episode series, so if you like this episode, be sure to check out the rest. Share it with your friends and help spread the word. Until next time, stay curious, stay motivated, and keep building your future.